Well, ladies and gentlemen, the party of democracy is at it again. Liberals are refusing to remove RFK Jr.'s name from the Michigan and Wisconsin ballots. Obviously, especially Wisconsin, how close that state was decided in 2020. They're not dumb. They realized that RFK Jr., after they alienated him, they gaslit him, they turned him away. We've got Axios trying to sell me stuff. They have now said, you know what? Because we couldn't get RFK Jr. on our side, because we're just so disgusting, we've turned into this socialist communist party, nobody likes us. We're going to make sure RFK Jr., even though he endorsed Trump and wanted to drop out in all of the swing states, Michigan denying the chance. And it's funny how Axios, they really don't show the dynamics of what's actually going on. They just kind of have this gerbil AI written article that's like, oh, why does it matter? RFK can't withdraw his name. Michigan voted no. It's liberals there saying he can't do it because it's very clear that RFK at this point, and because he's endorsed Trump, would only take votes away from Donald Trump, or at least most of the votes. So you've got the Michigan liberals and the Wisconsin liberals saying, no, he must remain on the ballot. And you've got them trying to, I mean, you hear the stuff that came out about Cornel West. Cornel West is now admitting, he's saying, they've bribed me. The liberals in all these swing states are bribing Cornel West. They're saying, we'll pay off all your debts. This is deranged behavior. They've already threatened Jill Stein of the Green Party. They tried to have her removed. She's now come out and said, the Democrats blatantly cheat. She's not a conservative. She's not a Republican. She's part of the Green Party. She doesn't like Trump, but she even admits that this is absurd. The idea that they care about democracy, that should tell you, and it's a great indicator that these people really, all they want to do is win. They don't care. The whole democracy thing, it's all gaslighting. They care about democracy when it goes in their favor. But when you've got stuff like this, where RFK Jr., the dynamics of this election endorsing Trump, again, RFK Jr., I don't know if he would have endorsed Kamala, but they treated him horribly within the Democratic Party because he didn't go along with everything that they wanted. There's no middle ground with those people. It's the exact same thing with Russia, North Korea, and then making fun of Trump for getting along with those countries. Well, no, that's what you have to do. It's not the fact that Trump agrees with those countries wholeheartedly, but we're grown-ups here and we have to get along with people we don't like. They can't do it, so they push RFK Jr. away, and then RFK Jr. says, look, I'm a liberal. I wanted to run as a Democrat in the primaries. You rigged those, so I had to run as an independent, and now you've pushed me even further away to where they didn't even want to have a conversation with him. And so they're saying in response to that, we'll just decide to keep you on all the ballots. We'll cheat. It's fine. It's not a big deal. You can see Michigan, one of the states that could decide the election. It's too late for Kennedy to remove his name per the Secretary of State's office. Minor party candidates cannot withdraw, so his name will remain on the ballot this November election. And so they're keeping his name on the ballot to try and draw votes away from Trump. It's the same thing they're doing in Wisconsin. RFK already came out and said, no, I want to be off the ballot in all of these 10 swing states. This is ridiculous. But guys, you have to understand, people may say, well, no, it's not a big deal because RFK has said, don't vote for me in the swing states. The thing is, these states are so close, and they know this. That's why they're threatening Jill Stein and Cornel West. The states likely will be decided. Well, I don't want to say likely, but they potentially could be decided by 30, 40, 50,000 votes. And when you're talking about Jill Stein winning 30,000 and maybe 22 of those 30,000 siphoned off that would have, voted for Kamala, but now they're voting Green Party because they don't like Kamala, but they think she's slightly the better choice than Trump, but they'd rather vote Green Party. You see the dynamics at play when you've got all these things combining, and maybe RFK Jr.'s name is still on the ballot and he's kind of a big name and he draws in some votes that potentially would have went for Trump. It all adds up in these important swing states. And that's really what it comes down to, is just, especially the Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So this is big news. This is very important. The Kennedy campaign did not immediately respond to Axios' request for comment. Kennedy suspended his independent presidential campaign on Friday, saying that he wanted to take his name off of the battleground states. And it would this is what he said. If he would have kept his name in the battleground states, it would have most likely handed the election to the Democrats, whom I disagree with the most in the existential issues. And so he said, I'm requesting to have my name be removed on all of these ballots, and they don't want to do it. And Kennedy, according to his internal polls, he admitted, he said, well, if you look at the internal stuff, we take a lot more votes away from Trump than the numbers let on. Because when we had seen the polls with RFK Jr., it had kind of seemed like in some states Kennedy was taking away votes from Trump. In other states, he was taking away votes from Kamala. But apparently, according to his internals, it was a lot different. And that's the thing we're getting with a lot of these internals. You know, I'm going to show another thing from a forecaster, and it's just these forecasters and these models, they always wonder why they're so inaccurate after the election. Well, it's just they keep paying attention and keep factoring in all these horrible polls that totally oversample Democrats. Remember, Jake Tapper, David Axelrod, there's another article that came out that said the top Democrats are warning people and their supporters the polls are really not this good. This is propaganda. She will not do interviews. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. She is doing an interview with that blubbering buffoon Walls with Danabash. I'm sorry, she is. That's gonna be no. She needs her binky boy, her butt buddy Walls there to do an interview. But you can see Cook political ratings. They've updated their new state leanings. Minnesota from a lean Democrat to a likely. They must have just pulled some type of poll out of their ass. When is the last time we've seen a poll in Minnesota? But no, you're right. Let's just say it's a safe Democrat state. You're right. New Hampshire, lean to likely. I haven't seen a recent New Hampshire poll. North Carolina, and again, these dumb forecasters leans Republican to, now it's a toss-up. Now Kamala can win North Carolina. We knew this was going to happen. We knew they were going to try and manipulate North Carolina and make it this fake swing state. And that's exactly what they've done when we've got polls that say North Carolina is going to be going to Trump by 3 or 4 points. So this has all come out, and at the end, they're going to be like, how did we get this wrong? Well, you're paying attention to the bad polls. This is like 25. It's year after year after year. They always underestimate Trump. They don't know how to poll his supporters. And what about Virginia becoming a swing state? Are you going to change that from a lean Democrat? Of course you're not. So this is it's all pure propaganda. It's all ridiculous. And they always wonder after every election, how did we get it so wrong? Well, you're paying attention to biased polls. And in some cases, you're not even factoring in polls. I don't know the last poll that's come out of Minnesota. I really don't. Now, maybe it is a likely Democrat state, but recently there's been no polls. There's been no polls out of New Hampshire. The North Carolina stuff is absurd. Based on internal numbers, there is no way that's a swing state. Zero chance. Look at Trump's likability, approval rating, whatever you want to say, in 2016 and 2020 versus now. He won North Carolina both of those times, and now he's got a way better approval rating, but he's going to lose North Carolina now when he's up in all the polls and he's performing better than he did in the polls in North Carolina in the previous 2 times. This is absurd. What are we doing? But again, it's just one thing. This is what they do. They want to keep RFK Jr.'s name on the ballot. Oh, yeah, that's real democracy. That's real good. Not only Michigan, but also Wisconsin. Michigan denies RFK Jr.'s escape from presidential ballot. Amazing. Oh, he can't do it. No, it's not because he's going to help Trump. You're right. He just can't do it. It's against the rules. RFK Jr. is like, listen, it's like 3 months before the election. I want to take my name off the ballot. It's just like when Trump shows up like a 5th in terms of candidates. You've got Kamala at first. You've got the Green Party. You've got the Chase Oliver. You've got some weird people on there, and then Trump shows up later at the bottom. And that was in North Carolina in their ballot. And they're like, well, it's a random thing we do where it should be Republican, Democrat, 1, 2, no doubt. It's ridiculous. But when it comes to this, it is what it is. It really doesn't surprise me. And now you've got Republicans saying they should force Biden to remain on the ballot to try and take votes away from Harris. However, I do think with the way that they did it a lot. They did it, sometime before RFK Jr. dropped out. They made the switch back in July from Biden to Harris, so it might be a little bit different, and I don't think Biden's name is going to be on the ballot. It's also funny, I saw some things. Politico comes out, and I'm sure everyone saw this. They were trending for the headline. They were like, oh, the Trump administration is trying to tie Harris to Biden. Meanwhile, we just went through an entire election with the yard signs, Biden Harris. but no, I mean, she's the VP, obviously, but it's just funny how it's literally the Biden Harris administration, and you've got liberal news outlets saying, why would Trump and his campaign try and tie Harris to Biden? It makes no sense. And that just goes to show you how bad Biden has been and how much they were lying through their teeth. Because remember, the last 3 years, they said Biden was great. Now they're saying, no, Kamala's not going to be like Biden. But you said Biden was great, so why would that be a bad thing? Why would continuing the exact same policies and administration that Biden had, because we were told and we were gaslit that Biden's administration was great, they would all say it was way better than Trump's. Now they're saying it's a different tune, obviously. And any metric will tell you Biden's been significantly worse than Trump. We'll see what Biden grades out in terms of presidential rankings. He should be towards the bottom. I mean, they had Trump last. It's all gaslighting. It's all crap. There's no way. There's no single metric where you could say, just as an aggregate, I mean, let alone the bigger picture with world peace, that Trump is worse than Biden, even if you are a liberal. And I think a lot of them are admitting it. That's why they're saying, well, Kamala is really not a part of Biden's campaign. Biden sucked, but Kamala will be better. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.